From the heart of Wayne County, this is Wayne-Goldsboro Television, Goldsboro, North Carolina.
It's Tuesday, August 30th. This is Wayne-Goldsboro Television. I'm Pat Garner.
And I'm Kate Daniels.
Kate, it's almost Labor Day.
I know, it's going by so fast.
It is. In honor of Labor Day, just to let you know, the Wayne County government offices will be closed on Monday, September the 5th. How about the chamber? Is the chamber?
The chamber will be closed as well, but we'll all be up and running on Tuesday morning.
That's right, right back at it.
That's right.
Vote by mail. It can save you time, it's convenient, and will save you gas. You can request a ballot today. You can download your forms at waynevotes.com. If you have any questions, you can contact the Wayne County Board of Elections at 731-1411.
That's great. And that will be here before we know it. So,
yes.
Definitely be doing your homework as far as who you're going to be voting for, not only on the national level, but certainly here locally. There's a lot of great resources in our community to be able to learn more about candidates. And a lot of information can be found online, but we stress to everyone, this is with everything. Not everything you read on the internet is true.
That's right.
So do your homework. Do your homework. Know who you're voting for before you go to the polls. It's extremely important. Extremely important. Wayne and UNC Healthcare just recently made the announcement about a week and a half ago. The Board of Directors of Wayne Memorial Hospital has named Janie Jayberg as the hospital's president and CEO, and that is effective in early November. So very soon we will welcome her to our community and look forward to her leadership at the hospital. To tell the community a little bit more about her, for the past 2 years, Janie Jayberg has served as Vice President of Regional Operations for Carolina's Healthcare System, which is in Charlotte. In that role, she supported operations and clinical quality enhancement for the group's managed facilities in North Carolina as well as in South Carolina. We're real excited to welcome her to our community, and again, look forward to her leadership at the hospital, and I'll certainly say a hospital that we're very fortunate to have in our community that serves a lot of patients and is certainly focused on quality of care.
That's right.
Yeah, so big announcement, not only at the hospital, but also at Wayne Community College here recently. So lots of changes going on, and a lot to be excited about and supportive for.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mentioning the new director for Waymore Hospital, Wayne County Public Affairs will also have a new communications director. She will be starting September the 6th.
Okay.
Her name is Tracy Davis. She is actually a native of Wayne County, and so we are pleased to be having Tracy come in and working with Tracy.
Wonderful, wonderful. So the community will meet her or welcome her back home as a native here very soon. So lots of exciting announcements in the community.
It is.
Yes.
Goldsboro Parks and Rec has the Big Cat, which is the kids cat fishing tournament coming up. It will be on Saturday, September the 24th at the Goldsboro Municipal Golf Course.
Great.
It will start at 9 a.m. and run through 11 a.m. and it is for ages 5 through 15. And you can register at Easy Bait and Tackle or Goldsboro Parks and Recs.
What a great event. This is another good example of why Parks and Recs is so successful at what they do here in our community. They get very creative.
They do.
Very creative with their events that are not only good for kids, but adults as well and families. So that'll be a great event coming up Saturday, September 24th. Is anybody getting excited about a fish fry?
Yeah.
I know I am. The Wayne Shrine Club Fish Fry, the annual fish fry, is coming up very soon on September 30th. go on and put it on your radar. Lunch is from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and dinner runs from 4 to 7. I will say that I know a couple of people in this community that enjoy the fish fry for lunch, and then they have it for dinner as well.
Right.
So whether you can go once or twice, certainly welcome. In Goldsboro, drive-through takeouts take place at Herman Park Center, and you can also eat in at Herman Park Center. And in Mount Olive, you can do drive-through takeouts at Highway 55, which is next to Robert's Machine Shop. And all the net proceeds from this benefit the Shriners Hospitals for Children. So not only will you get a delicious meal, you are also supporting the incredible efforts of the Shriners Club and their story. And if you want to learn more about them, you can find information online. There's a great group here in town with truly servants' hearts that are doing incredible work. So learn more about it, be a part of it. Again, it's coming up September 30th in Goldsboro and in Mount Olive.
That's right. And I believe the plates are $8, Kate.
There you go.
George Racer will come on to Wayne-Goldsboro Television. We will be interviewing him shortly. And so he will give us some more details on
Wonderful.
on that. So I think it's time. Let's get to our interview, and we'll be back on Wayne-Goldsboro Television.
Hey there, I'm Hope Fields. I'm the Director of Alumni Relations at the University of Mount Olive. I have exciting news to tell you about an upcoming event for our alumni and friends of the university. We are going on a 7-day cruise. The cruise will depart on June 17th. We're going to hit the Grand Cayman Islands, Isla Roatan, Belize, and Cozumel. It's going to be an amazing experience. It's a 7-day cruise, so take a week off work, come be with us. There are 3 options for rooms. You can have an interior room, an ocean view room, or a balcony room. And of course, pricing will fluctuate with which type of room you want. The interior room starts at $780. The ocean view room is $950. And then the balcony room is $1,180. And of course, there are only 2 constants in life, death and taxes. So you do have to pay the taxes that go along with that in addition to the room price. But I hope that you will consider coming with us on the cruise. I get asked all the time, do you have to be an alumnus of the university to go on the trip? Absolutely not. We welcome everyone. So if you're watching this and you didn't go to the University of Mount Olive but you want to go on a cruise, come on. You are welcome to come with us. We'd love to get to know you. The first deposit of $100 will be due on September 22nd. So if you want to come, I would go ahead and get that in now. You are welcome to give me a call at 919-658-7714 and I will tell you all about it. If you have questions or want more detail about when we will be at which island and where, give me a call. I'd love to talk to you. My phone number again is 919-658-7714. And I hope that you can join us on the University of Mount Olive alumni trip.
Today we're at the Downtown Goldsboro Development Corporation office, and we're talking with Julie Metz, DGDC. Wow, you guys are so busy right now. You got so many things going on. But let's get a little background first of all.
Okay.
2 or 3 years ago, you were awarded a grant in the amount of $10 million. That was for the Downtown Streetscape project, and which included the Transportation Gateway GWTA Center. There's just a lot going on. Tell us about that grant.
Well, that grant was funded to us to implement 4 projects associated with our downtown master plan. Mm-hmm. Like you said, the big project that everybody sees the most is the Streetscape project. It extended the city's previous work on the 200 block of North Center Street and it extended it southward another 3 blocks to meet to Spruce. Right. That was about $7.5 million of the overall project. It also built a new facility for GWTA as their transfer facility down by Union Station. It did all the site work for the Union Station and GWTA property, which is a 2-block city property. And then it did more superficial above-ground streetscape work for Walnut Street and some of the streets around it that connect Union Station and the GWTA facility to Center Street. So,
Wow.
yeah, it was a big project, over $15 million worth of work.
It was an enormous project, and wow, the outcome is just fantastic. The downtown, and I continue to this day to hear new things, great things about how downtown looks and how it functions. The circles, the drive-arounds, the roundabouts, whatever you call them, have added so much to it, and it's a showplace. Downtown is a showplace right now.
It is.
Beautiful.
It's really exciting to see all the energy and the interest coming back to downtown, and because of that, and because of the investments the city has made and the vision that we were able to establish and the work to get that implemented, we've now had over 30 new businesses open up since the announcement of the Tiger 2013 grant, and over 30 new property acquisitions, which that part is huge. We haven't had that much interest in investing in downtown, and I can't remember when.
That is wonderful. That's all those new businesses, 30 new businesses at that time. That's new jobs. That's a bigger tax base, improving the tax base. There's just so many positives there.
Right.
And you're right, the energy's there. I continue to see people taking advantage of the downtown and the median where they're sitting and looking at the works of art, and it was quite a project, very successful, by the way. And I congratulate you and all your people involved with it, your staff and everyone else. There was a lot of people involved with that.
It takes a lot of people, and I think, I just spoke to somebody that used to work with Congressman Butterfield and his staff for years and years. He was his district manager, and he said, Julie, he said, in all the large District 1 that Congressman Butterfield represents, it was always easy for us to advocate for your projects because above anybody else that we've ever worked with, your whole community came together to make these projects happen, and that's so much easier to support when a lot of communities, there's dissension in what the vision should be and not a lot of support. And he said, this is one of the areas that Goldsboro has excelled in, and that is coming together and working towards a common goal.
Well, that's nice to know that the community actually all come together to achieve
Right.
the big things, because there's always somebody who says or somebody disagrees with something about the project, but
And there still are, but our community leaders, from our council members starting back to 2006, and all those that led the way to develop the plan and to incrementally invest in, all the plans that go into establishing that your vision will work, that's stuff that nobody likes to fund, hiring consultants and, doing the construction plans, not knowing if we were ever going to get the funds, to actually implement it. So, a little bit of thoughtful, strategic, but risk-taking steps that they made. And then, the DGDC board and our committees and all those volunteer hours, and, they're the advocates, they're the ones out there in the community, being ambassadors for downtown and all the work that they've put into it. There's just been so many people that have been involved in making this success.
now here we are in the summer, and the leaves have leafed out, and everything's green. It's beautiful. The grass is green. And actually, you hear someone playing a piano every now and then.
Right.
Down in front of the Waynesboro house with that piano down
I
there.
know.
That's
It's
great.
a great addition. Mr. Wheel instigated that project. And
Did he?
Yes, he did, and we love it.
And now there's more. There is a new grant that's been awarded to downtown Goldsboro. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we just learned Tuesday that we are a successful applicant. We asked for $5 million from USDOT to further our 2013 project. We're the only community in the state of North Carolina that was awarded a grant in this round. So feeling really good about the investment that they've already made and wanting to further that. And so we're just really pleased with that kind of commitment and trust in us with their dollars. And I think somebody asked me, are you surprised? And I may be a little bit. It's just unusual for a community our size to get one, let alone two
Right.
grants of this size. But when you look back, we've demonstrated success with our first one. We've had some great economic development numbers come back from it, and that's one of their major goals of these grants. And then we also showed capacity. For a community our size, I remember when we first met with the administrators of our grant, and they looked at us kind of unsure. In fact, when we finished, we had to meet with them quarterly and then also monthly throughout the implementation of the grant, and they towards the end admitted that they didn't have a lot of hope for us. I mean, they saw just 3 of us come into Atlanta to talk to them, and they're used to working in these larger cities, and so we surprised them. But we had a great working relationship with FTA, which always helps in future opportunities. And so I can't say I'm too surprised, but very pleased.
And you're talking USDOT and you're talking FTA. We're talking federal dollars here. National, this is on the national scene, the national front.
Right.
That's where this money is coming from. So with the new grant, this is, I believe, $5 million?
Yeah, we asked for 5, where we received 5. The city has to match at least about 1.2, 1.3. Depending on how contingencies might or may come in, we're planned for up to $1.7 million worth of a match. But it's based on contingencies of the project, so it might be lower than that. But we'll get $5 million from USDOT, and that'll go towards the continuation and completion of the Center Street Streetscape project. It'll take it from Spruce to Elm Street.
Okay.
It will develop the plans that we have for Cornerstone Commons, which will enlarge that pedestrian plaza space. It'll double it in size and add some really cool amenities that I think the public will really enjoy.
Wow.
We'll have an outdoor kind of amphitheater, an outdoor concert stage. We'll have a splash playground, public restroom facilities, which we don't have downtown at this time. And just a really nice space for people to meet and dine. They can take their lunches. We'll have tables out there and public art installations and a nice grass space. And it'll also develop and implement our wayfinding program. The city undertook a study with NCDOT last year to develop a wayfinding signage plan system for not just downtown, but the entire city of Goldsboro and even beyond for the metropolitan planning area. So we'll be installing 90+ signs that will direct people to places of attraction and government sites. And then also the last piece will be construction of a covered concourse facility for the GWTA Center.
Oh, okay.
So that's a part of the project that we had to omit at the end when the quotes came in for the last Tiger round, because we just didn't have enough funds to implement it, but we will be able to now.
When do you receive the grants, or do you have to do some work and then?
Yeah, we'll have to do some work. We're still waiting to hear from USDOT, who they have several divisions under USDOT, and they'll farm out the administrative duties of the grant to one of those divisions. And for the 2013 round, it was the Federal Transit Administration. We're hoping that it'll be them again. We have, like I said, had a great working relationship with them, but we're waiting to hear on that. And then depending on that, we'll probably have some things that we have to work towards, and then have a grant agreement signed and executed between all the parties. Wow. But hoping to be able to be ready to begin using some of those funds in early 2017 to develop construction plans for our first priorities will be Cornerstone Commons development and then the wayfinding signage.
That's just a few months. The Cornerstone Commons area will be closer to the police fire complex, I guess. That's thinking, looking over that property, that's about the only thing that's open there.
Right. It'll go towards the east a little bit, but extend mostly southward.
Okay.
So I think it's about 12,000 square feet now of space, but by the time we're done with it, it'll be about 28,000.
Wow.
So
Well, that's great. That's very exciting too, the little amphitheater looking thing, and lots of amenities there. That's great. But now I'm curious as to what will be done down to Elm Street, because there's a lot of open space there.
There is. And
it's actually a very lovely area. It's beautiful down in there. And any plans for that sidewalk or what?
Yeah, it'll have a lot of the same design and material pieces that we have in the other streetscape blocks. But it'll be downsized a little bit and be more inclined for residential use instead of commercial use. So the sidewalks won't probably be as wide. The interior median will probably be about the same size it is now. And the concept for it, at least as it is right now, is to have kind of a linear park and maybe have a dog park in there.
okay.
And a lot of green space, because what we're hoping to do is to invest in this area in a way that will attract a private sector investment to build more residential infill development on either side of it.
I see a lot of renovation going on in that part of town. A lot of renovation, and there's some people have taken some old, beautiful Victorian-style homes, and they're
Right.
completely rebuilding, renovating them into beautiful homes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that going on. The South Center Street at Elm Street, from there to Spruce, I guess it is. There is, somewhere in there, there's a very deep part. Are there any plans to fill that in? I hope not.
No, there will be.
Oh, there will be. You're going to fill that in?
They've already been, the city's already been where they have opportunities and they have extra dirt from projects that they're working
okay.
on. They've been working on filling it in. But yeah, it'll be filled in. And we'll have pathways, that will connect, so intermediate pathways.
Oh, that's good.
And again, it's going to be designed in such a way that we're hoping it'll be an attractive feature to complement residential development on either side of it. So that's,
I know with the deep part of it there's not much you can do with that, but I just thought it really looked good.
yeah, no, it's interesting, and nobody can remember why it was developed that way and why we took
Really?
dirt from it at one point. I have not run into anybody that knows the story behind why the dips are there in those
Yeah.
medians, but
They may have just needed dirt somewhere else.
They might
Who knows?
have.
Who knows? Maybe there was the intent to put a large basement or something. Who knows?
I don't know.
We can all speculate.
Yes.
Okay. So this is great. So the $5 million will be used for that. That's quite a project. Do we have anything on the front, perhaps later on down the road, that we're looking at?
No, just trying to recruit more private investment. Really, our focus is going to be on the next 5 years on developing more residential opportunities. We really feel like for the new businesses that have come and the existing businesses that are here, to be able to really support them strongly, we need more people living downtown 24 hours a day. And so that's going to be our focus in trying to encourage more private investment toward to building more residential opportunities.
There's a lot of that already. Renovation of spaces above businesses in town,
Right.
apartments and such. A lot of that, and we want more, of course.
Yep.
There's also a lot of available land downtown, it seems, across the street next to the well-traveled pier. There's a large lot.
There's 2 large lots, and we're actually working on an option with a development group out of Virginia Beach right now, Second Act Communities, and their idea is to develop a multi-use project that will be primarily residential, multi-stored, have probably 2, 3, 4 stories with over 100 units of residential opportunities, with commercial use space designated on the first floor fronting Center Street. So they're in the process right now of doing a market analysis study to see if the community can support that kind of investment. And we're working on an option with them, kind of dictating how that will play out. But we should learn more probably early this fall as to whether that project's going to come to fruition.
Very exciting.
That would be a great jolt into that residential development need.
Yes, it will. Julie Metz is the director of Downtown Goldsboro Development Corporation. Director, right? Executive director. Right. Okay, I knew that. And she's been very kind to us today to ask us to, or actually we asked her if we could come by and talk to her about the grants, a little history on the $10 million grant, and the latest, the $5 million grant. Congratulations on that, recently awarded. And I thank you very much for your time.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you, Wayne.
Julie.
Appreciate it.
I obviously could go on and on and on about my little girl. She's kind and giving and loving and full of life. With a very strong will and a very strong mind.
Making a teeny tiny little island.
She is vivacious and keeps me on my toes. Catherine is a precious gift, and she's a joy to have as a daughter. Everything happened so fast. It was just so very surreal to be there and realize the devastation that was occurring around us. This really can't be happening. Something so horrific occurring to my precious little girl. Would we be able to save her? Hurricane Ike was pressing down on the Gulf Coast, and we lived here in Houston, and we had an opportunity to seek shelter in a building where my husband worked. And as the hurricane was getting closer, we were gathered around watching it on TV, but Catherine was asleep on a pallet in another room. There was smoke filling the hallway, and I hollered fire. When I approached the room where Catherine was, the fire was actually lapping out of the doorway. Catherine's father came running past me and dove into the room. Moments later, he and Catherine emerged. Everything happened so fast. There wasn't a lot of time to think. There was time to just react. Catherine had burned over 70% of her body. Face was bright red except for just little circles around her eyes, which were white. She was very quiet, and she was not screaming. The look on little Catherine's face of bewilderment, and I'm sure at that point, shock for a 4.5-year-old. Just disbelief, unsure of what had just happened, what was happening. And James had been burned over 50% of his body. And would they both come out alive? I had an advantage being a pediatric occupational therapist, that I had knowledge of the amazing work that Shriners Hospital does for children, not only with burns, but with orthopedic and many other areas. So it was almost second nature to think, when Catherine can be stable, she needs to get to a Shriners Hospital. The Shriners Hospital in Galveston still hadn't reopened, and the hurricane was traveling northward and to two of the other Shriners Hospital for children with burns. It was headed their direction.
Well, it was a busy time for us also, but we always do our best to make room for any child with a burn, and we did.
I think this is a case that really epitomizes Shriners, in that Shriners is about teams. Shriners is about teams coming together to help patients. In this instance, we stepped in and said, okay, it's time for us to step up to the plate and take care of this child.
When we arrived at Shriners Hospital, they met us at the door. Catherine needed to have surgery done, and that they were prepared to do that night.
She developed pretty life-threatening infections, what we call sepsis, where bacteria can cause children to become very sick, and she needed special antibiotics.
Catherine was wrapped from head to toe. I could see her face, her eyes, her nose, her lips. Everything else was wrapped in bandages.
They were able to cover her wound initially with skin from other people that were stored in our skin banks. She was burned over half her body, and that carries a very significant risk of mortality. Once a child with this size injury gets to one of the Shriners hospitals, the mortality decreases considerably.
It wasn't until 6, 7, 8 weeks out that we finally made it to that pinnacle of, I think we're at the moment that we can change our focus from just surviving, but surviving and living.
This building that we're in right now had been damaged fairly significantly by the hurricane. We were seeing outpatients and doing surgeries in the Houston Shriners Hospital on Main Street.
At the very beginning, when Catherine came to us in rehabilitation, she was very frightened. She was very scared.
It was not pleasant for a 4.5-year-old little girl, and she didn't understand everything that was going on.
She was having at that time some symptoms which we would call post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms. She was remembering not just the burn accident. She was remembering all the pain and suffering you go to when you first get burned.
Slowly, Catherine began to trust us, therapists. So we were able to do more and more with her. The rehabilitation was painful, but Catherine is a fighter. And slowly, she began coming out of her shell, if you will.
They had picked up on her early on, even at 4.5, that she had an amazing attitude and an extremely strong will to survive.
I've never had a burn patient do any better at rehabilitation, at facing 20, 30 operations, facing multiple different doctors, facing painful experiences. She's a miracle.
I'm never going to let anyone slow me down.
She has come from a desperate and terrible experience to being a little hero filled with vim and vigor and running around a mile a minute.
Way too fast. No, I'm not going to let anything or anyone slow me down.
This little girl is smart. She's got a very attractive personality, a very positive attitude, and I think this is going to serve her well in the long term.
2, 3, good.
I love to sing and dance, and I love to do gymnastics, and I go to my church.
She's not the shy little Catherine we met. She does a fantastic job telling her story and telling others how rehabilitation is possible if you have the will to go through it.
Well, I do art, piano, voice, dance, gymnastics, and run.
Take it over, flex. There it is, good.
If I could transfer what she has in her heart to all the kids we teach, I'd be a super teacher. She asks for no help.
Come hands to push up, come on, muscle, come on, come on.
She asks for nothing extra. You know, she's tough as nails, I say.
I'm determined to go around the world and sing and dance. That's what I'm really hoping to do.
She doesn't mope around and feel sorry for herself. She would not have the success she's had if that was her outlook on life. So she comes into class and does what she's supposed to do.
I'm very competitive. I can tell you that. I always compete with my friends.
Patients like Catherine is what brings me to work every day. She tells her story. She's an ambassador for us at the Shriners Hospitals for Children.
I expect she's just going to be a little hero and a little leader, but it's not to say that those scars are not lifelong and they're not to be dealt with every morning, because they are.
That energy she has, she's so vibrant. She attracts people to her to talk to her. She's so pleasant, beautiful smile. She's a happy, young, normal child.
This child is going to do very well. She's going to be an effective teenager. She's going to go to college and do whatever she wants to do. I'm encouraging her to become an MD.
I am excessively proud of Catherine. She has been down a very, very, very long, difficult, painful road. I don't really want to think about what would have happened to Catherine if we hadn't had Shriners Hospital. I prefer to think I'm so grateful that we had Shriners Hospital when we needed them the most.
My favorite person in the entire world is God. And I love my parents. And then I really, really love the Shriners because they help me a lot. They're like my family, but they are my family.
We're back on Wayne-Goldsboro Television. Kate, what do we got? Talents?
Ooh, we got, so you think you've got talent. On Friday, October 7th at the Base Theater at 7 o'clock, you are invited to come out for an exciting event. This is going to be a wonderful night, and I'll tell you why. There are auditions that take place before this, so you know this show is going to be the cream of the crop. But here's the deal leading up to it. Eligible participants include, get your ears perked, active duty military category, and there's also a civilian category. The ages are 16 and up, okay? So there's two different categories. The talent categories, dance, voice, variety, instrumental, rap, groups. Now the max is 5, so if you got a big group, pare it down. Dancers, comedians, spoken word, and other novelties. So it's really open. So if you've got a unique talent, they want to see you. There's going to be auditions coming up September 5th, 7th, and 8th. They're going to take place at the Base Theater from 6 to 8. You're going to need to register beforehand. And are you ready for the phone number? You can call or email Kavon Williams and his extension on the base, and I don't know the first part of the number. He's at 8542. You'll have to contact Wayne Government Television or the chamber, and we'll help pull the number. What is the beginning of it? 722.
It's 722.
722, that's what it would be. 722-8542. Or you can email kavon.williams@us.af.mil. If you've got your pen ready, you ready? KAIVONE.Williams@us.af.mil. So there's going to be, it's free admission for those that can come, and there's going to be grand prizes for both military and civilian categories, and the big event is going to be Friday, October 7th.
Yay. And there is a lot of great talent in Wayne County. We have seen it recently, and so I would
encourage you to go.
All Wayne County talent.
That's right, to come out, and what a great opportunity for the community and our military members to come together and have a great fun night on base. It's going to be on base, again, for this talent show. But I'll tell you, when I first moved to Goldsboro, which has been, 11 years ago, I remember going to the Paramount Theater, and I think it was the Miss Goldsboro Scholarship Program. And I went home, we had a girls' night and did it, and I went home and I told my husband, I was like, what's in the water here? And he was like, what do you mean? And I'm like, every event I've been to where somebody has performed, I mean, it's like, what are y'all drinking here? Like, I did not get the same water growing up.
Don't feel bad, I didn't.
Oh my gosh. So it is incredible. We are very blessed. And it's also awesome that our community has such great outreach programs to foster artistic talent. Be it through the Arts Council or Stage Struck or the programs through the Paramount, or I mean, it's pretty incredible.
It is. Wayne County really pulls together.
That's right. So come on out.
Kids Fest is coming up September the 24th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and it will be at Berkeley Mall. It is free and it is open to the public. You can learn about fire, safety, and health tips. You can enjoy the games and educational exhibits. I think the fire trucks will be there, ladder trucks, rescue vehicles. Photo ID kits will be available. Face painting, balloon artists. Any hands-on activities, so just come on out to Kids Fest on September the 24th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Oh, it'll be a great day, and we're hoping for perfect weather for that event. Yes. We mentioned yesterday, we showed this book. If you've not gotten your hands on one, we hope you will soon. It is the 68th annual. That is wild. It is. Wayne Regional Agricultural Fair. This fair that is in your community wins all kinds of awards and recognition because of the caliber and the quality of it. There are people that come from all over that travel to come to this fair. It's incredible. Is that not the most beautiful pecan pie you've ever seen? I'm starving now. Officially, I'm starving. Get the book. We'll talk more about it leading up to the fair. But go on and mark your calendar. September 29th through October 8th will be fair time. And you want to talk about some excitement, it happens at this fair.
That's right. And if you can't enjoy the rides, enjoy the food, the all the different vendors that are out there.
And the animals that they've got out there, and these students and these kids that are going out there showing their livestock and animals. It really is quite incredible. And the schools always partner and do great exhibits. There's really a lot that you can do and enjoy being out there. So with that, we've also got tomorrow the annual end of session legislative update breakfast. We can't wait to bring you some updates on that if you're not able to attend and share about the great discussions that will take place during that event.
There you go. So is there anything else, Kate? Do we have anything
There's
else?
all kinds of stuff going on. But we need you to continue to tune in and watch this show that airs. When does it air?
It airs Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., noon, and at 5:30 p.m.
That's right. And if you miss it during those times, where can they go?
You can go to YouTube, and they are uploaded every morning. And there's a whole list. If you missed a show Monday through Friday, it's there. You can see it.
That's right. It's well documented.
It is. Yes. It is. Well, I think that's it, Kate.
It's it.
We'll do this again tomorrow. For Wayne-Goldsboro Television, I'm Pat Garner.
And I'm Kate Daniels.